This changes everything for the Dallas Cowboys as new reports have come out saying the Cowboys are in line to sign a former player of their own at a position that could really use some extra depth given the latest injury news. We'll tell you who this player is and why it would be such a perfect fit right here on Cowboys Digest. Welcome everybody, I'm Jace Andrews. We appreciate you tuning in. And before we get going, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're growing every single day. In fact, just hit over 4,000 subscribers and are very, very grateful for it. However, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep posting content. And as we get closer to the season, we're going to have a lot more stuff to push to and a lot more news and information. So make sure you subscribe today so you don't miss any reports coming up. Today's topic is about the Cowboys reuniting with a former defensive star who is still left unclaimed in free agency. Now, the Dallas Cowboys have done a lot of good things over this offseason, trading for George Pickens, having a very good draft class in my opinion, and quite frankly, although Brian Schottenheimer at the time of the hiring didn't seem like a great thing, I fully believe he is actually the best fit for the job. Now, what exactly is next for Jerry Jones and company? Well, that's where we have to look to the cornerback room, because as we've stated multiple times on this program, the cornerback room is very good if healthy. The key word being if, because it's not exactly healthy as we speak. In fact, if you kind of look at this depth chart, you see, okay, DaRon Bland, that looks great. Hopefully, after coming back last season, not having the season he had in 2023, but still playing 7 games, looking pretty solid, he should be back to a 2023 level that we saw from DaRon. Trevon Diggs, he's been injury prone the past couple years. Obviously, the ACL tear, the cartilage injury last year, that knee is still bugging him. Shavon Revel Jr., same situation, had an ACL tear. Don't really know when he's going to be fully ready to go. Now, Kalen Carson is a guy that I think is undervalued and could easily make this roster. And Kaiir Elam, I think, is a very good pickup as well in free agency. I still contend, though, that if Shavon Revel Jr. and Trevon Diggs are not ready to go by week 1 when you're trying to play the Philadelphia Eagles to open up the NFL season, you might want to have a contingency option at that cornerback slot. That's kind of where we lead into our first report. Tyler Reed of Cowboys SI says, quote, "The Cowboys secondary has a major question with Trevon Diggs. Diggs has been sidelined for the past 2 seasons with major injuries, and quite frankly, expecting him to return to his all-pro form will be a difficult expectation," end quote. And I agree. If you look at the Cowboys room, Shavon Revel Jr. is a rookie, and he's coming off an injury. The hype is there, and he should have been a first-round pick if he wasn't injured, quite frankly. But you can't expect a first-round level guy. That's not what you can have. You can't expect that from a guy who's coming off injury. Trevon Diggs, obviously 2 seasons ago, was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Right now, though, we don't know what to expect. The injury over the past 2 years for him have really kind of made us change our outlook. And I mentioned this on a previous show, but DaRon Bland and Trevon Diggs are a great cornerback duo. However, they've played 20 games together in their career, and when you're playing 17 games a season or 16 games, whatever it is, you expect a little more than 20 games for guys who have been on the same team for the past 3 years now. Now, DaRon Bland and them last season played only 1 game together, and it was in December, and I would like to see more of them playing together. But at the same time, I want to know that if, however, the Cowboys cannot get DaRon Bland, Shavon Revel Jr., and everybody ready to go, then they have somebody in the wings, and that guy could be none other than Stefon Gilmore. That's kind of where we start our report today as we go into another quote from Tyler Reed of Cowboys SI saying, quote, "Matthew Lennox of Blogging with the Boys recently wrote that the team should look into bringing back a veteran cornerback who last played for the team in 2023. The name in question is, of course, Stefon Gilmore. Gilmore played in Dallas 2 seasons ago and may be exactly what the team is looking for in 2025, end quote. Now, I'll first start with my opinion on this and why exactly I believe it's a good fit. Number 1, he's a veteran presence, and having that for Shavon Revel Jr. and, quite frankly, for this entire room would be a very good thing to bring back. Number 2, he played here 2 seasons ago. He is relatively familiar. I know there's been, change in coaching, but he's familiar with the area. He knows the facilities, and he would be a very good fit to just come in and be ready to go right away on week 1. Number 3, he's still available in free agency, and quite frankly, it wouldn't take much for him to come back to a place that he has statedly loved, like he liked playing here, and still has relationships with some of the players currently on the roster / the staff and quite frankly, the organization as a whole. Now, his stats obviously are an interesting one as I pull those back up. He played last season with the Minnesota Vikings, and in those, he had 9 pass deflections in 15 games played, 56 total tackles, 16 of those being assists, and he did have 1 interception. During his days with the Cowboys back in 2023, 2 interceptions, 13 pass deflections, played in all 17 games and had 68 tackles. Has his career definitely gone a little down from his Buffalo, New England, and Carolina days? For sure. But is he still a top-level guy in the NFL, at least mentorship-wise, and the ability to just go out there and play and know what he's doing? I 100% think the professionality of him is perfect for this team, especially for what you're going to ask for him. I think you have to be open and honest and say, listen, nobody is signing you right now, and Trevon Diggs and Shavon Revel Jr. may not be ready for week 1. How would you feel about coming and signing with us? If you play well, when Trevon and Revel come back, we'll keep you. If not, we might let you go. I think that's an honest conversation because, quite frankly, if he can play a little bit, it increases his chance of getting signed to another team in season as well. And the fact of the matter is, he's not signed yet, meaning he's gone to multiple visits. He's talked to multiple teams, and no one has seen fit enough for him to be a official signing. Now, there's a lot more to kind of talk about this. And that's where we continue on into the Matthew Lennox of Blogging with the Boys report, saying, quote, "One thing about Gilmore that's also appealing is his professionalism." I've talked about this. Ever since he's been in the league, he has always kept himself prepared and ready to play no matter what team he was on, end quote. Which again, that's why I go back to these stats. He has played 10 plus games in every single year of his career besides 1, and that was coming off an injury in 2021 with the Carolina Panthers. If you look at the seasons, 16 games. There's a 14 games. There's a 15 games, 16, 17, and 15. He is playing night in, night out when it comes to games. He is there and ready to go and in the facilities, making sure his body is ready to play, especially at a cornerback position where the Cowboys have had some injury history. It wouldn't be a bad thing to keep him around because what's to say, and I want to knock on wood when I say this, that Shavon Revel Jr. and Trevon Diggs aren't ready for week 1. And so Stefon Gilmore plays. And by the time Shavon Revel Jr. and Trevon Diggs are back, maybe Deron Bland's not playing exactly. Maybe he's not as fully healthy as you'd like. He is a perfect option that, again, like the report just said, he can be ready. His professionalism is going to make it to where he'll be ready night in and night out if you need him, or if you don't, he is there. Now, I do want to continue on with this report because this is where the kind of, insider information takes a different turn as to why the Cowboys could be so interested in signing Gilmore and why Gilmore could be interested with the Cowboys. You see, here it is. Gilmore is still close to the Cowboys as well. Back in April, he was spotted in the building. Now, there was reported that this was a visit. This was not a visit. He just came to talk to one of his friends, which, again, also, he was shouted out by Cowboy safety, John A. Thomas. I'm butchering that name just because I haven't seen it in a while, but on Tuesday, after the two chopped it up, end quote. So he's talking to some players on the team. My apologies for not saying that name right, obviously, but again, it is something that the Cowboys could look at here and see Gilmore, who has been in the facility in the past year. Yes, it wasn't an official visit because he went on an official visit with the Saints, and they decided it wasn't worth it to sign him. But now when you look at this roster, and as we get closer and closer to preseason and to the regular season, if Trevon Diggs and Shavon Revel Jr. are not ready, which all intensive reports are kind of wishy-washy right now for Trevon Diggs and Shavon, and for even that matter, we don't know to what percentage healthy they're going to be, so why not give them an extra week, especially since you play the Thursday to open the NFL season? I'd rather have a little bit more time for them to potentially give them some time. And listen, Gilmore is an incredible athlete, and we see that here from Tyler Reed of Cowboys SI, finishing out his report, saying, quote, "Gilmore has had an incredible 13-year career that has seen him win Defensive Player of the Year and become a 2-time All-Pro. Bringing in his veteran leadership could do incredible things for the secondary." Quite frankly, if you need a cornerback for the 1-2 weeks, whatever, or just a guy who can slot in because of the injury history and the injury concern that you have on the roster, Stefon Gilmore is the guy. He is the guy to go look at. He is the guy to go sign, and to make sure that you always have that guy available because, quite frankly, he has been that guy throughout his entire career. And that's where I open up the question to you and to every Cowboys fan out there. Would you like to sign Stefon Gilmore? Let me know down in the comments section, and you can kind of put your opinion there. I'm always reading the comments, even if I don't love them. I'm always reading them, I promise that. Don't worry about that. I try and like or love or respond to most of them, but don't have all the time in the world. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Is Stefon Gilmore a guy that you would like to see the Cowboys sign, or is this somebody that you think that they should pass on? Obviously, we've talked about Asante Samuel Jr. We know that they signed Robert Rochelle as a potential practice squad guy. Right now, he's on the roster, and we'll see if he makes the 53-man cut. But either way, the cornerback room is obviously a concern for the Dallas Cowboys, which I think is more towards the injury status because, as I've said multiple times, I think if Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs are 100% healthy, you have one of, if not the best cornerback rooms in the NFL, especially when you consider Shavon Revel Jr. If he's healthy on top of that, you have a guy who is a projected first-round pick, and then Kaiir Elam, who has been labeled by multiple media outlets, and we might have a video on him later on, but he has been labeled as a potential, undervalued signing this offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's not by a Cowboys industry. It's by Bleacher Report, who reported that he was going to be a very undervalued signing. So if it's healthy, it's going to be great. But if it's not, that's where the concerns come in because of how much running and how much fluidity that position entails. I would love to have some extra depth just in the wings, if that's all it is. And that's where, again, you have to be honest, Stephon Gilmore, would he accept a practice squad position if that's what it was? Would you accept having him around the team is the biggest thing? Because quite honestly, I see Stephon Gilmore going and being a coach after his time playing is done. But I don't think he's ready to put up the helmet yet and hang up the pads. I think he's got more in the tank, and who knows? Maybe this could set up perfectly. But we'll kind of just have to wait and see. Obviously, he has been talking with Cowboys players. He's been in the facility, so a signing could happen literally at any time. Just depends on if the Cowboys pull the trigger or if they decide that it's not exactly the best fit for them. Let me know again your thoughts in the comment section, but we appreciate you joining us. If you made it to the end of the video, you obviously are enjoying the content, so hit that subscribe button. But for now, we appreciate you, and as always, we will see you next time here on Cowboys Digest. Peace out, guys.